Welcome to Issues of the Heart. Have you experienced anger, jealousy, anxiety, depression, marital storms or difficulties? Maybe struggling with self-control? Well, you're not alone, and we're here to help. We deal with these issues and more on Issues of the Heart. It's a weekly broadcast hosted by Jay Albright and a variety of guests, where we examine biblical remedies to those issues of the heart. Stay tuned for this week's episode. Hello, welcome to Issues of the Heart. It's good to have you with us. Hopefully you've had a good week so far, a good day so far. It's been kind of rainy here, kind of rough. It's been a good day to stay inside. Well, come on in, join me. We're going to have a talk today discussing one of the other anchors in Stormy Relationships, and we covered the anchor of understanding last week, and got some comments about that when people it kind of touched home for a couple of people. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the anchor of gratitude. The anchor of gratitude. Gratefulness is the hidden gem in personal relationships. People want to be appreciated. People need to be appreciated. You need to be appreciated. I need to be appreciated. And the best place to get that kind of appreciation is from a grateful, thankful mate. Now, I enjoy it when other people express gratitude, whether it be at work or church, in a class. I appreciate that and I enjoy that, but nothing compares to a grateful mate who constantly praises you, even sometimes when that praise is not warranted, but yet they are passionate about being grateful or thankful. See, the Bible says in Colossians chapter 3 verse 15, and let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body. And then he said, and be ye thankful. Thankful. If I were to call your mate and were to ask the question, without your being there, ask the question, is your mate thankful? Are they grateful? Be totally honest, I wonder what they would say. Well, you know, there are times when she's thankful or he's thankful. There are times when they're grateful. But are they great? Would you consider them a grateful, thankful person? Some may say, well, you know, no, they're really not, because they criticize most everything I do. Or they're always talking about how well it is when somebody else does it. Or how good the food is when somebody else cooks it. Or how nice the repair job is when somebody else's husband does it. But what about you? Are you a grateful person? Are you a thankful person? Let me give you some thoughts about that before you answer that question. Remember that gratitude or thankfulness can cover most character flaws. Now think about it. If you have some periods in your life where you're maybe not on your game, you're not all you should be, maybe you don't accomplish what you ought to accomplish, or maybe your attitude stinks, or maybe you're harsh with your words, understand that gratitude will cover most character flaws. I've watched it happen so many times where somebody has harsh words, or they have a bad attitude, or they have a bad spirit. I've watched that happen, and then I've watched that same person follow that up a short time later by saying, you know, thank you, honey. Thank you for that. I'm grateful for you. And all of a sudden, it covers that multitude of flaws that you exhibited earlier. Gratitude. You'd be surprised how much gratitude will cover up. Colossians chapter 2 verse 7 says, rooted and built up in him and established in the faith as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Do you show gratitude? Do you show gratitude just about the big things that are just what you wanted? Are you grateful for even the little things? Gratitude will cover a multitude of character flaws. And I'm telling you, if you're like me, you have a lot of character flaws that need to be covered. So as much gratitude as you can exhibit, the better it is for you. And the better it is for me, being grateful. The second thing gratitude does, it is the initiator of all other compassionate acts. If you're grateful and you practice being grateful, you'll find out that that gratitude you're exhibiting will lead to other positive acts and positive traits in your life and in your relationship. It is the lead-in. It's the starting point. Being grateful, being thankful. Selfish people, listen to this, get it. You're probably there. Selfish people are hard to please. They're hard to please. Grateful people are easily satisfied. If you're a selfish person, I'm telling you, I don't know if your mate could do enough to satisfy you. If you're a selfish person, you'll be happy with him, you'll be happy with her at that moment when they do something big that's in your favor. But they won't be satisfied, and they won't be happy, and they won't be as forgiving about the daily issues of life if they're ungrateful. If you are one of those people that would come to me and say, you know, Jay, I tell you what, I don't know what it is about my wife. She just doesn't get it. She just doesn't understand. She's never appreciative. Well, wait a minute. Is that really the case? Maybe. Is that really the case, or is it because you have an ungrateful, unthankful spirit? People don't go the extra mile for people who are ungrateful and unthankful. So selfish people are hard to please. If you're a selfish person, you're hard to please. Grateful people are easily satisfied. Let me ask you a question. Do a self-test. How hard is it for your mate to please you? I mean, does everything have to be just right? Does the meal have to be just right? Does the lawn have to look just right? Does it have to be repaired the way somebody else would repair it? If that's the way it is with you, then those are the attributes of a selfish person, an ungrateful person. But if you have that character trait of gratefulness, then you're easily satisfied. Number 3, gratitude keeps your heart balanced. And since this is issues of the heart, let me explain this. Grateful people Boy. You better write this one down. This is going to, if you need to lower your head, lower your head. If you need to look under the table, look under the table. Grateful people rarely complain. Let me say that again. Let me get close so you can hear me. Grateful people rarely complain. You complain all the time? Might be because you're ungrateful, unthankful. Grateful people tend to be voluntary servants. Voluntary service, not just to your spouse, but to other people. You know what? I don't have to be around your wife or your husband to tell whether you're a grateful person or a thankful person. I can see it by the way you treat other people. You're in the line at the store. Do you fight for your position? Or do you sincerely give that position up to somebody else who maybe needs to get through the line faster? Are you a grateful person? Grateful people rarely complain. If you catch yourself complaining all the time, it might be your prayer ought to be, God, help me to be thankful and grateful for what I have. Do you complain at the house all the time? Well, it may be because you're not grateful. Grateful people tend to be voluntary servants. Hey fellas, look right at me here. When's the last time you made the bed? When's the last time you did the dishes? I was going to say when's the last time you cooked dinner, but my soul, man, half the men I know cook dinners at their house. I'm the only guy I know of that doesn't know how to cook. But how grateful are you? Colossians chapter 2 verse 7 says, rooted, built up in Him, abounding therein with thanksgiving. How thankful are you? How grateful are you? The Bible said in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 16, rejoice evermore. Verse 17, pray without ceasing. And then in verse number 18, in everything give thanks. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus. It's His will that we be thankful. Gratitude. Psalms 136 verse 1, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. When the storm comes and the water gets rough and the ship begins to toss, throw out the anchor of gratitude. Look, it's hard for your mate to throw stones if you are grateful. There are two types of gratitude. Number one, there's benefit-triggered gratitude. That is when you're grateful when you receive a benefit for being grateful. Okay, so let's suppose there's something special you want, and your wife or your husband gets it for you for your birthday or gets it for you at Christmas. That triggers gratitude. And that's what I mean when I say benefit-triggered gratitude. It is gratitude, but it's benefit-triggered. And then there's generalized gratitude. Generalized gratitude is awareness and appreciation for what is valuable and meaningful to yourself. Let's suppose you didn't get anything today or for your birthday or for Christmas. Are you still grateful and appreciative because you have the things that are valuable? You have a relationship with your mate, your spouse, your kids. That's generalized gratitude. So you say, well, Jay, how in the world
can I create or, start that process of being grateful? How do I do it? How do I turn it around? Well, I'm going to give you some things. First of all, number one, make others aware of your gratitude. Send an email, write a letter, do something special that doesn't get you anything in return. I would practice doing something for somebody without them ever knowing it was you. That develops an attitude of gratitude in your own life. Do something for your mate they didn't expect. I don't mean go out and buy him a new car or go out and buy her a new wardrobe. That's not what I mean. What I mean is do something they want, something simple. Now, I'm not trying to use myself as an example because there are a lot of people that are more grateful than I am, but I'm working on it. But whenever my wife is gone, maybe she's with her parents or she's with a sister or she's going to visit somebody, I do my best while she's gone to make sure when she gets home, the bed's made up, the room's cleaned up, the dishes are done, and everything's in order. Why? Because that is a way I believe I can show her I'm grateful and appreciative. I try not to leave stuff laying around the house. If they're my socks, I pick them up. If they're my shoes, I put them away. If they're my dishes, I rinse them and put them in the dishwasher. Because that's a way I can show gratitude to my wife. Start a gratitude journal. Start your little journal. Get a little book. Get a piece of paper, a tablet, a pad. And just start writing. Take 10 minutes a day or less. And just write on that journal things you're grateful for. Not just about your spouse, your mate, but about everything you might be grateful for. Because remember, gratitude is a matter of attitude. If you have an attitude of gratitude, you'll find yourself automatically being grateful. So start a journal. Start writing down stuff you're thankful for. Think about why you're grateful for yourself. I mean, come on. Where would you be right now if something hadn't happened in your life? If you didn't have a relationship with God, where would you be right now? Have you done your best to serve? Have you done your best to be what you ought to be for your others and for your mate? If you've done your best and you know you're doing your best, practice being grateful for you. It's real easy. I mean, all you have to do is say, well, I'm grateful that I now have a desire to do something for my wife. I'm grateful that now within me I have a heart to do the right thing for other people. Then you can start maybe a 30-day challenge where for 30 days you're going to practice being grateful whether you want to be or not, and you're going to jot it down. Today I showed my gratitude this way. Tomorrow, write it down. Today I showed my gratitude this way. Do that for 30 days. And if you do that, I promise you at the end of the 30 days, you will have developed a habit of gratitude. Being thankful without even thinking about it. You see, gratitude helps us remember why we fell in love with our mates to start with. Selfishness tends to erase our memory of why we fell in love. Gratitude increases love, joy, it increases love, joy, and forgiveness. Gratitude does. You'll be surprised, even if you don't feel like being grateful, if you show gratefulness, you will be shocked how it transforms the way you feel. Gratitude deepens our spiritual intimacy. Grateful people tend to have a greater desire for spiritual things. Gratitude enhances, you like this, fellas, gratitude enhances the sexual relationship. I mean, we've counseled people where the wife said, you know what, I almost despise the sexual relationship because that's the only time he ever shows appreciation for me. Because there's something he wants. But when you're grateful all the time, you'll be surprised how it'll affect your sexual intimacy. Gratitude creates mutual appreciation. When you show gratitude to other people just by nature tend to be grateful to you back. Now this is an important one here. Gratitude softens criticism. We don't always say what we're supposed. I'm the worst probably in our group today. Boy, I'll be going through something, I'll be battling something, and then I'll say the wrong thing. And then I spend the rest of the night trying to ease it over. But you know what? If you have an attitude of gratitude, when those times come when you are critical, it softens the blow of the criticism because your mate knows you have a heart of gratitude. And your gratitude makes your bad attitude sometimes more bearable. Reflect on past memories. Say thank you for the small things. Thank you for the small things, not just the big things. The small things. You sit down for dinner tonight. Eat your dinner. Look at your wife. Get in close. I don't want your wife to hear this. Lean over to your wife and say, you know what, I feel sorry for every other man in the country. Because I guarantee you they didn't have a meal like I had tonight. I dare you try it. See how an attitude of gratitude affects your mate. My wife. Of course, I'm going to tell you, she comes up to me all the time and she'll say, how do you deal with it? And I'll say, Stephanie, what are you talking about? She says, how do you deal with being the best looking man anywhere around? She says that so much now, I just respond by saying, well, you know, I'm learning to deal with it. But you know what? It's a habit for her. Man, how did you get to be so strong? She doesn't say that anymore. She used to say that. How did you learn to do everything? She also doesn't say that anymore, but she used to. Why? Because she had an attitude of gratitude. And when she exhibited that attitude, it made me want to do nothing except be thankful for her. Attitude of gratitude. So, water's getting rough. The storm rages. The ship's about to sink. Turmoil's everywhere. If you go forward, you're going to wreck. If you go side to side, you're going to be shipwrecked. If you go backwards, you're in trouble. What do? You throw out an anchor and you be still. And tonight, the anchor you throw out is that anchor of gratitude. Practice it. As a matter of fact, if you practice having an attitude of gratitude, and you do it for 30 days, I dare you to send me an email and tell me that things didn't change. I challenge you to tell me that. Now, you got to do it for 30 days, and then I challenge you to be able to tell me things didn't change around your house. Attitude of gratitude. When the storm comes, throw out the anchor. And these anchors that we're talking about every week, some of those anchors by themselves will solve the problem. Thank you so much. Be sure, if you have a question, you have a thought, something you want us to discuss, be sure and let me know. Go to recoveryministries.net. Write it right there in an email to us, info@recoveryministries.net. Give me your question, give me your thought, give me your idea. Go to YouTube, put a comment in YouTube. Go to your podcast station, and in the podcast, write a statement. It'll get to us, and we'll try our best to answer your questions and give you what you need from us. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful week, and we will see you next Monday night, 7 o'clock. Same time, same place, same station. God bless you.